Hello. I was going to do this the day before, but I'm going to go and I'm going to get Elsa on board, who hopefully um, is going to show up soon. And Rio is going to join us tonight. Let's see. There's Elsa Pearl. View requests. With Elsa Pearl. Okay, I'll tell you guys to begin with. I waved to everybody. I figure if I hit the buttons, it never works well for me. And there's Elsa Pearl.
Hi, Rio.
Rio, did you see
Of
Elsa?
course, I say hi to
You
Rio
say hi
first.
to Elsa?
Hi, Rio.
He's got the head tilt.
I
So
haven't
anyway,
seen.
this is helping me with trying to make sure I can get the IG live correctly. But also we figured maybe we give everybody out there, first of all, some knowledge or let people know what Elsa is doing, because it's all exciting things. So tell them what you're doing, like right now, where you're working, what your plans are exciting in January.
Well, literally right now,
Yeah,
knitting because I'm an
she's
old.
knitting because she's multi-talented.
I'm working at Life's Patina in Chester
Yes.
Springs. That is Wednesday through Saturday. Well, now weekends, and then I'm also at the Buttery on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Oh, I could go there tomorrow if I can get my act together.
It's good stuff. The
It
coffee's really
is.
good. It's very unique.
What's
Like,
unique?
yeah,
The coffee.
I don't know like what coffee they use. It has a very unique taste, but I really
Okay.
like it. I think it's my favorite coffee. And then Life Patina has really amazing food and stuff. So definitely recommend both of them.
Okay.
And then
I've been to both, and I would say delicious. So
I actually haven't been to the Buttery many times. I feel like I always go to these places once, love it, and then start working there. So I never
right,
actually get to
you
experience it as a customer.
right. Well, the last time I went there, it was with you. I
Uh,
think that was the last time I went to the Buttery. I mean, it's been that
wait,
long.
did we go to the Buttery together?
You forget that, Elsa? Do you not remember the time we sat down and had some delicious pastries?
Oh, I do remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, vaguely. When was that?
Um, it's been well over a year.
Okay.
I don't
Was it after
remember.
Sweet Jasmine's closed?
It was.
Or towards the end?
I maybe towards the end. It's all a blur. Honestly, I feel like what year I need a map. You are here. Right.
What year are we in?
What year are we in? It's a test. So you're so in addition to, the Buttery, Lice Patina, you're tutoring, awesome tutor, but then you're doing what?
Going to France.
That's so exciting.
In just over a month. It's beginning to hit me. Like I keep getting.
When's exactly January?
January 3rd, I leave.
Geez. Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's beginning to hit. Like I'm nervous, but good kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Like I have no regrets. But I keep getting nervous because I have to pack. Like
Yes.
I don't like packing, and packing for 4 months is a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm about to order my packing cubes on Amazon, so
Okay.
we're gonna
Pack
do it
in advance, and that way you're not. I know every time I don't pack ahead of time,
Yeah.
I pack so much more stuff than I need.
And I'm like keeping a list of odds and ends I need, but I'm trying to think of like what clothes, because the problem is like traveling in the winter, sweaters are so bulky.
Yeah.
And I know I won't wear a ton, so like whatever I don't bring, I probably should get rid of because I'm not going to be here all winter. And if I don't love it enough to bring it, then anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's a whole
Me and
different
packing
process.
is not a good. But yes, France, very, very, very excited.
And then you're going to travel afterwards.
Yes.
Which will be
hoping to go to Italy.
Yeah.
Eat my way through Italy and then visit the family in Belgium, obviously.
Yeah. That's so exciting. I'll live vicariously through you as you tell me all of the places that you've gone, and you'll send me pictures even though I can't enjoy them. But so we also wanted to tell people like some baking tips. I don't know, like do you have one baking tip that I would tell people who are doing like apple pies? No matter what they say, I know places, in recipes you read, and they'll say, cut your apples and then put lemon on them, or vinegar, just so that they don't brown. But here's the thing, guys, they're gonna brown because that's called caramelization and that's called flavor. So it doesn't matter if they brown a little bit. Honestly, like slice your apples cover them and put them in the fridge. Don't, to me, unless you're doing a lemon
Or
flavor
freeze
in
them,
your
right?
apple, or freeze them. Yeah. I mean,
You
but
want to do it by hand.
yeah. I mean, honestly, when we did our bake at home pies, they had to go in the freezer. I mean, and honestly, I always tell people I got my inspiration because I grew up on like I baked, but we also grew up on Mrs. Smith's pies. So I remember standing in the store one time and I said, I gotta imagine that I can like we can make the pies ahead of time and freeze them, and that really came out of necessity because we couldn't possibly make all those apples and peel them and everything. Now I so enjoy just taking a peeler and just taking one apple at a time in no rush. I was
You're
making the
not
pies
traumatized. I have not
now.
made an apple pie since
You haven't? Oh my
2006.
gosh, I now
I do not do apple pies
no I
anymore.
made an apple pie a couple weeks ago, and
Nice.
I guess no for my dad's delayed belated birthday dinner because I was sick, so we did it
Mhm.
later. And then Jordan, I guess, has found a new dessert that he loves, so he asked for this. I said, I'll make an apple pie for Thanksgiving. He said, can you make two? Yeah, I said two. He's like, yeah, one just for me, preferably to take back to school.
I,
So
I do
but
miss the Sweet Jasmine's apple crumb though.
the apple crumb. Yeah, he said he was indifferent. And I said, well,
Uh,
the apple crumb is one more step. So we'll do the double crusted pie.
if he's indifferent, yes, but I disagree with that
Yeah.
statement. The crumb is superior in every
Well, I
way.
feel like it's like another extra layer of
I just
flavor.
don't
Cause
like pie crust. That's why.
oh, okay.
Like, it's more like a crisp. I love apple crisp.
Right.
I think it's kind of
You
like
smush, smush things.
that. Yeah.
But no, but back to the apples, that would be my main tip is like whatever you can do. And for those of you that have heard about it before, oh, there's Sal. Hi, Sal. Mise en place. And basically it means put in place, but it's do whatever you can do ahead of time. So even if you don't want to bake the apple pie, but the day of, do your crust ahead of time. It freezes beautifully. It refrigerates beautifully. Um, slice your apples ahead of time. Even if you're making like the sugar and the spices, weigh all of that ahead of time. So it's that's all prepping. But it just makes it easier. So the day of, you're not having to start everything from the very beginning. Because a lot of those, at least in the pie world, a lot of those things like you can do ahead of time, right? And make your life. Do you have like a tip that
Not related to pies, but
yeah,
my go-to tip that I always tell people that I learned from
yeah,
you is you don't have to grease your cake pans.
yeah, and this is
All
yeah,
these recipes drive me crazy. They're
mm,
like grease it and then flour it and then grease over the flour and then flour it again and shake like all these steps just so that your cake doesn't stick. As long as you
yeah.
line it and score it afterward, it's good
Chris
to go.
Chris would kind of say that's like creating a solution for a problem that didn't
Yeah.
exist. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a problem, but it's all these extra layers. You have parchment on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not going to stick, and then your sides, it's like just score the
That,
yeah,
sorry, as well as cheesecake, same thing. Bake it in a regular pan. Don't
yeah.
use a
That's
spring form because I would never attempt cheesecake until I started working for you, and I'm like, wait, it's actually like, yeah, it's still more finicky than a lot of things,
yeah,
but it's a lot easier to use a regular cake pan and no seeping water and aluminum foil and all that stuff.
right. That's what I grew up doing is a spring form pan,
Mm-hmm.
taking it off, trying the aluminum,
Mm-hmm.
foil on the bottom, and then sometimes, like you said, it would get
The
through, so you'd
water
have
just
like
gets
this
in
slightly, but
soggy
it's
cheesecake.
it's you. I mean, we always did cake pans because I think I'm putting the cheesecake in the cart for December,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I was going to tell people, like just you don't
Keep that in mind.
just kind of put some oil on the bottom. I use like avocado, or everyone does something different. You can spray it with oil. I use avocado spray,
You sound
and
like
that's
my
a tongue
nephew. Kado,
twister.
kado.
Avocado, and then just spray that, and then bake it, and then when it comes out on a water bath, that's the other thing. The trick to a cheesecake, and I posted something I saw from another account where they were saying they had three sections of it, like the very edge, and then kind of the next layer in, and then the middle, saying how all of those had different temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're not baking in a water bath, you're getting more heat on the edge, so that's getting baked faster. So you have like, and then it's concave sometimes because you get more heat and then it comes rises and it goes back, but you're not looking for a rise in a cheesecake. You're not looking for, and there's nothing to keep it stabilized because there's no gluten. So if it rises because there's too much heat, it's going to fall right back down. So I absolutely tell people, like, just get rid of the spring forms, don't use them, do a cake pan, you let it cool, right? We would always let them cool for, maybe a half an hour sometimes. I mean, we usually had to go faster because we're like, let's go.
Like we only have half an
Yeah,
hour.
we don't have, so, but you would score the sides so that as it's cooling, it's kind of falling evenly. Then we'd either put in the fridge, or the freezer was the easiest. If you just put in the freezer
So
for a
it's
couple
solid
hours,
to turn out.
let it get solid, and then just hit the bottom of it and the sides with a little bit of hot water, have a plate
Or
or
if you're like
something.
us and have a full size blowtorch hanging around your house,
Yes.
like people always are a little startled by that, but
Yeah, I know that. Well, and Rio,
it's normal.
that's his least favorite tool in the
Really?
house. That's why I can't, if I do any videos, I I have to do voiceover. I can't, because he's here and he'll bark. And KitchenAid, he's made friends with. The Cuisinart is like enemy number one, and the blowtorch
That's
is,
funny.
I
I guess
think
he knows
between
he's
the
dangerous.
sound and the fire, he's
He's
like
like,
not having it at
nope,
all.
nope.
No. So
That's
I think
funny.
he thinks it's a weapon,
I
and then
mean,
it's attacking me, so he's not very happy. I even tried to negotiate with him. I said, Rio, the torch is our friend. Like, I'm talking to him like he understands. Um, but yeah, with the cheesecakes, yeah, do yourself a favor. Like, just get a pan. Probably a lot of people already have a baking pan. Get a cake pan that has some. We usually use 3 inch. You don't really need a 4 inch. Most pans
oh,
are,
like 3 inch deep.
yeah, yeah, like 3 inch deep
Yeah,
is plenty, just in case anyone's
like a regular
wondering.
cake pan, not spring form.
Yeah, not spring form. Just, and that way you can use a cake pan to bake cakes, and it's more multi-purpose. Um, but that way you don't have to worry about any water getting in there. And I personally would never. I mean, when I first learned how to bake cheesecakes, I had the Made of Heaters cookbook. Oh my gosh, I'm testing my memory. And there was this Long Champs cheesecake. That was what it was called, Long Champs. But it was just baked in the oven. And now that what I know, I think it was baked at like 325 or 350, which is a high heat for cheesecake.
Yeah,
Because you don't want it to get curdled, you don't want it to get dry out. But I think there are also different styles of cheesecakes. I think cheesecakes are, like New York style tends to have like a drier crumb.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
okay. We always said ours was, I don't know the style. I always called it Philadelphia cheesecake because we use Philly cream cheese, which again, my favorite. I mean, Elsa, you can weigh in, but I've
Mhm.
used a lot. I've tried different ones, especially trying to get a lower price point when you're in business and you're trying to get
Some
the
are
best
just
margin.
slimy. I've had some that I used for cream cheese frosting and it's slimy.
So is Philadelphia cream cheese still your go-to?
That,
Or
or honestly, the Wegmans brand I've found to be decent. It's a little cheaper.
the Wegmans? Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be good so far. And taste wise, it seems pretty much the same. I haven't done it in a cheesecake though. I've only done it for frosting.
Okay. So yeah, so I mean, I'm a Philly cheese. I've I stick with my
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia cream cheese. It's always been my
30
favorite.
pound block.
30-pound blocks. I might have to go back and do that for the December, for the last pop up. But
I will have to order a
yeah,
cheesecake.
yeah, and oh no, I'm not. It's a cheesecake batter. It's
Oh, even
not the
that
actual cheesecake. But
even better.
anyway,
I will
but
get that too.
what else were we gonna say in terms of people? The other tip is, as you're Rio,
Sorry, his
just I'm
head
so
randomly
bored with
popped
this
up.
conversation. Um, when you're baking or even cooking, do yourself this favor. Get all your ingredients the night before or 2 days before. Don't wait, because I think we've all been there where you either assumed you had enough or you remembered that it was half full, and then you go and it's like barely anything, and now you're running out to the store last minute. So I kind of like to do a check off list to make sure I have all the ingredients. And
Some
I
blogs and
mean, I bake a
websites do
lot.
that.
What's
Like
that?
some blogs and websites do that. They literally have like a circle next to each ingredient, and you can check it off on the recipe
Yeah,
online.
because
Yeah,
it makes it easier. And
smart.
then if you're not, I mean, you and I are probably going through the baking powders and baking sodas pretty quickly,
Mm-hmm.
but um, more so the baking powder, just make sure it's active. Like just put it in some warmer water with the baking soda or the baking powder. And if you're using yeast, I mean, you can always put a little warm water with a little bit of sugar. I mean, really, I mean, if you have a lot of yeast, I would test it because it's not worth using. That's probably one of the worst things, to go through all the effort to make bread or,
Mm-hmm.
a yeast product, to find out that it's not active. And you won't find out until it comes out.
Until you need
Yeah, until you
it.
need it. So, I mean, well, you'll see if something's not rising, but sometimes it can give you a false sense. It'll rise a little bit, but then the product in the oven. So I don't know. I guess the long of it is just whatever you can prep ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
make your life easier. But for the baking, do your fillings ahead of time. If you're doing pumpkin pie, you make your filling the night before if you want to.
Because then you can have it fresh because you have everything ready. All you got to do is dump
Yeah,
it in. It's like a store
yeah,
bought, except it's homemade.
exactly. Except it's homemade.
It's
But even
make your own
even
box mix.
what's that?
Make your own box mix,
Yeah, I
DIY
mean
box
it's
mix.
kind of like doing that, but you're prepping, but you're just giving yourself. I mean, because you do that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we would do that sometimes if we had. Usually, we were running out of time, so we're scaling everything. But a lot of bakeries like that, they'll scale everything the day before,
Mm-hmm.
so that when you go to make the pound cake or make the cheesecake, like everything is ready. In an ideal
Yeah.
world,
Where I was
when
at before, we spent Friday measuring everything for the next week that we could,
yeah,
unless it would go bad, which dries and stuff don't.
right.
So it just makes it so
And it
much
makes
easier.
it easier because when you're rushing to do stuff, that's when mistakes can happen a little bit easier. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're scaling everything, you're not kind of in that panic mode, or
Mm-hmm.
if it's Thanksgiving Day and you're trying to do everything right then and there, that's when it's easy for something to go wrong. And also, my chef Gunther from Dessert to Nashville many years ago, everything was left to right. And
Mm-hmm.
to this day, I do that. Like because it's easy to have flour and then you have baking powder that's, ooh, looks like flour, or baking soda looks like flour, salt, and it all goes in.
Right.
Um, and then you're like, oh, did I do the salt? Did I, you're questioning
Mm-hmm.
whether you have all those ingredients. So I always, and we always did that in the bakery. It's like, have all five things on the left.
Mm-hmm.
As you use them, move them to the right. So like your products in the middle, your bowls in the middle, everything small that you're doing is on the left hand side. And we also would try to, if there's like the baking soda, the baking powder, salt, fill in the blank, use a smaller bowl to capture that, because to me there's nothing worse than like
Well,
having
like if you're
20
weighing it.
pounds of flour and then you measured everything and then the scale, the batteries go dead, and you're like, oh my gosh, how much flour to
Yep.
the the other ingredients. So I still like to do my salt, all those additives and flavorings, I like to do those separate from the flours.
Mm-hmm.
you know is that it, did you guys do that still? You find you still use that?
I don't because I've done it enough times, but if you're definitely not used to doing that, then 100% do it. Oh, like as far as like, well, scale wise, yes. But I'm thinking also just in case you dump too much in of something, it's better to measure in a small bowl
Right.
and then
And
dump
that's,
it into a bigger bowl.
yeah, because and I find like the smaller, now that I'm doing smaller
Mm-hmm.
recipes, the smaller it is. And I've kind of moved over to grams
Mm-hmm.
because it's so nice. It's
I like
fewer
grams.
bowls. A lot of times I can, if I'm doing bread, I can almost do everything in one bowl instead
Right.
of having to measure, because I'm not doing cups or even pounds. It's just much
Also,
more
for smaller
precise.
recipes, it's more
It's more
precise. Yeah.
precise. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I got
So
used to that after. It was such an adjustment though, going from pounds to grams. I'm finally
yeah.
on grams mode, but it took a while
Can
there.
you do that conversion? No,
No,
we just so you
I
know,
have zero
those
idea.
numbers are not memorized. Those are like, uh,
No, I
you can
found the pounds were easier to remember a recipe. It's like I think I can still remember Sweet Jasmine's recipes, but like the gram recipes that were in grams, can't remember,
Right.
which is odd.
Yeah. Well, we always had them in pounds
Mm-hmm.
or ounces, but yeah, now as I'm trying to think ahead and during the cookbook or whatever, I actually do it in grams because it's also easier if you want to like half the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier to stay precise
Mm-hmm.
and do it in grams if you want to make it smaller
I
versus
go with the I don't do grams or pounds. I do Elsa's measurements.
what is that?
Everyone makes fun of me. It's called measuring with your heart.
You are daring.
I just
You measure with your
okay.
heart.
I do use some form of measuring spoon or scale, but beyond that, it's just kind of if I feel.
You go
Don't
by
recommend
feel.
it. Yeah.
People don't go by feel. Elsa has it down to a science. Do not do Elsa's method. It works for her. Her stuff is
It works
delicious.
for me, but that's why like my thing could be the best thing you've ever tasted, or it could be why didn't it turn out this time?
Right. Well, no, that would have never worked at Sweet Jasmine's
No.
because
Do
you
not
have
recommend
to.
for
Yeah.
yeah.
If you're trying, well, here's the other thing. If you're trying to, and I've done it before, and then someone's like, "Oh, what did you do?" And you're like, "Oh, I
I don't know.
just I just kind of winged it." Like with cooking, I tend to do that more because that's more free. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so measured and scientific. So
What I have to do if I write it down as I wing it, it never works out. So I have to wing it. It's amazing, and then I write down while I still remember because that's how it works. Because Murphy's law,
yeah,
if I write it down, it doesn't work.
but we all have our system that 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 works for us. So whatever works for you. But I mean, as everyone's getting to Thanksgiving, I guess the only thing I can say is just make your life easier. So whatever you can do ahead of time, just get it done. I mean, I know for myself personally, I'm going over to my cousin's and still doing a turkey because she does two turkeys, but I'm going to do one. Um, and the one thing that I did do, I made my turkey stock, but my cousin was probably going to make the turkey stock like 3 weeks ago, and you put it in the
Nice.
freezer. And I just wish people would know the freezer is your friend. And to make because I went out and I got like turkey wings and all of that, and then roasted them so you get more flavor out. You get the collagen out of the bones, and then it makes a nice, really hearty, and onions and celery and
It's
spices, not
like
spices,
Jello.
herbs. Yeah, and it's and because you're using, I guess they call it the fond, which is what's on the bottom of the pan that's browning, but it's not burnt, it's flavor. So you go ahead and you get all of that, and so it's just this nice, dark, rich. But I wanted to do that, and I did that one. I have to give Tina
Mm.
Borelli credit for that because I got her recipe from Epicure Cloud. I always say it wrong. Um, but I've shared it before,
Mm-hmm.
but that was how I found out to do the make ahead turkey stock
Nice.
because it's just it you can develop the flavors longer. You cook the bones in the oven and then you add everything else to it and then you let it go for another hour or so, and then you just let it simmer in that, and it's nice so that you're not worrying about having to get to do this huge dinner and then you want this gravy just to top it all off, and then it's to me that was always stressful to make the gravy because you're trying to move the turkey, you're trying to get the juices and separate the fat from the stock and use the fat for the roux. I'm like, this is too much. So I'm like, do all that ahead of time. Get your fat ready so that it's in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Get your stock ready so that's ready to go. Rio is so bored with this conversation. Can you
He's
see him? He's like,
asleep.
it's
Rio.
it's rough being him. It really is.
He's just
Um,
like, oh, that's funny.
oh
Hi,
no.
Rio. Hi,
Hi,
Rio.
see Elsa?
Hi, Rio.
And pretty soon he's gonna sigh like it's so rough
It's a
being
hard
him.
life. It's so
Yeah.
rough.
It's rough. Well, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I hope we gave a couple tips that might make it easy on everybody. But just remember, the freezer's your friend, the fridge is your friend. So do
I
whatever you
literally,
can.
right now, I made apple cider donuts last week and had extra ingredients. So in my freezer, I have cracked eggs in a quart bag. I have frozen apple cider that I boil down. Like, I'm gonna
So
make
like a
apple cider donuts
syrup.
anytime. Not
You're gonna make
quite.
them back in January when, so I can have some.
Mhm.
No, I'm kidding. Okay,
Before I
I don't.
leave.
I just want everybody to know she made all these donuts, and I did not get to try one single donut.
I
Look,
have
even
I have 3 batches measured out,
okay,
and they make 36 donuts each. So you will be getting some.
okay. Just it's just me in the house eating it. Well, I should say I'm the only one that really eats
When
the.
Jordan's home,
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
I
so
will make. He can
he
eat
is home, but
36
he's
donuts.
okay. And Rio's like me too.
Yeah,
Can you
you can eat one, Rio. He starts
do you
playing.
do you want a cider donut?
Do you?
Okay, you want
Do you want an apple
I'll
cider
show
donut?
everybody. I'll have to see if they'll do this. Rio, no, actually, I'm not. I was going to say his girlfriend's name, but then I'm teasing him, so I won't tease him. 'Cause then he'll actually bark and he'll want to get down. So anyway,
Rio.
hopefully this will record because I'm hoping to do some actual when you get back some like live.
We can do lives also when I'm in France. I can.
Oh.
Oh. I can do I can show or talk about what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun. You
I
can give
could
us
be
a.
that American vlogger. Am I still? Hi guys. So like, I got to show you where I am. I'm in my uniform. And
That
they'll
would
just
be
be like,
fun.
Americans. Yeah, I'll do that. That'd be
Do
fun.
that. You take a tour. We'll
It's a
be
six
like the.
hour difference. I'm 6 hours ahead, so
Okay.
we can figure
Oh
that
my
out.
gosh.
But otherwise, Rio.
Rio, where's Elsa?
Hi, Rio. He's like, she's boring.
He's like, Mom, this is so boring.
But
Yeah,
yes,
that will be fun if he's if when you're in France doing all those fun things, maybe you can do a quick video and show your kitchen there if you're allowed to.
I
That
think
would be fun. I think
you're
he's
allowed
bored
to.
with me. You think you're allowed to?
Yeah, because there's one girl who went there who has a YouTube channel, and she took videos there. So.
Did you see my new shirt?
Oh, I saw you posted about it
Did
on
you see my
Instagram.
Courtney just
Love, peace, kindness is backwards. Compassion, gratitude, self-care.
words
Words
to
to
live
live
by?
by. I'm reading it backwards. I
I
can
know. I was
read.
gonna say that's impressive. That's like a
I was
new.
like, I can read.
It's like wow.
Mine
That
just
could
says
be a new. That could be a new
Kate
game.
May.
What does yours say, Kate May?
Just Kate May.
Okay. All right. Right. So I don't know if we gave anybody, any great information, probably that's helpful. But again, even if for those of you making cookies, if you're doing your family loves like your chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal cookies, you know, make that ahead of time. Either keep even in that if you're having it and you're making it 3 days ahead, that can stay in the fridge. Um, or you can freeze it even ahead of time and just have them ready to go. When you're ready to bake them off the day before, put them in your fridge versus your freezer, and then treat it like you normally would if you have them at a room temperature. Any of those things. Oh, my neighbor. Hi, Heidi.
I don't
I
know
could
if
see her in the back. Now, if I open the window, she would be back there.
I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to tell us apart. By the way, because they're both like gray sweatshirts from like the top, so
You
they
mean
won't
you and
know which ones.
me?
Yeah, no one's gonna know
They're
which one is which.
never gonna know.
We're both wearing gray sweatshirts, right, identical.
They'll
They don't
never.
know
It's like little kids
who's
when they're
who.
twins. It was like they'll never know the difference.
I mean, we look
I mean, look.
same.
Yeah.
Gray
See?
sweatshirts.
Okay.
Both have like a ponytail,
I feel like
short ponytail.
we're turning into one of those SNL skits where it's like we're talking about nothing.
That's always been us, though. This is why we're back at it on the live.
Hopefully, like, oh my gosh, don't they have
We're
things to do?
entertaining.
Like get a Thanksgiving. I'm actually delaying. Actually, I have to make some cheesecake batter so I can make. Again, I'm making my cheesecake batter tonight so that I can make it first thing in the morning and have that baking while I'm picking up my turkey from Culinary Harvest. So many places. I hope everybody, in case you don't know, for next year, Culinary Harvest offers turkeys, and they get them from a wonderful place, which I'm forgetting the name. And then you can pick them up. I think the pickup places like where the old bagel shop used to be in Berwyn. It's I'll know before, but last year it was a parking lot. by the bagel factory behind Casey's, kind of over there
Mhm.
in Berwyn. So it's nice because you go there, there's no crazy line. You can go get your turkey and it's delicious. So hopefully I won't destroy it for Thanksgiving. I personally, just to let you know what I do with my turkey, because I've done it every way. And I was just talking with um, Carlo from Culinary Harvest, who is a chef as well, a trained chef. But I've done the brine. I've done everything except fried the turkey. I've even accidentally cooked my bird upside down. It was one of those Thanksgivings that, like, I cooked the turkey upside down. I thought I destroyed it because there was no meat on it because it was all on the bottom. I lost my wedding ring. I thought I lost my wedding ring in Kmart. So that tells you how long ago it was. I cut myself. So it was like pretty much everything that could go wrong was going wrong. But I discovered that if you're not stuck on having this, all the skin on the turkey and golden brown and need that perfect like Norman Rockwell picture, if you flip it upside down, all the bird, the breast and the bottom, so you're getting all those juices from the bottom and all the juices kind of going into the breast on the bottom, and it is the most tender bird. So I'm considering doing that again since my cousin is actually doing the gorgeous turkey that will be the presentation. I
There you
might
go.
flip my bird upside down, but I did do it by mistake the first time, and I went upstairs. I think I was crying because I thought I destroyed Thanksgiving because I annihilated the turkey. I thought like I had completely blown it up and
I read
cooked
I
it
read
too
a
long.
story once of someone who did a prank of they had the turkey, they showed it to all the guests in the oven and her husband, and then she switched it out for a Cornish hen. And it was like,
Oh
oh
no!
no, the turkey shrank,
Oh
and
no!
everyone believed her.
I probably would have believed that. Oh my, that can cause a
I
slight
think it's a great
coronary.
prank.
That would be funny. I would probably find that funny like the next Thanksgiving in that moment. I don't know if it's like funny and then you're
But she
relieved
was
so
the
you're
one
not mad.
cooking it, so like I guess everyone else is just like, what's going on?
Oh, she knew. I
Oh,
got you.
the one cooking it
Okay.
did the prank,
Okay,
so
Kim, get your
no,
listening skills. I'm sorry. It was my bad. Okay. Well, anyway, so I hope we gave you guys some
entertainment,
entertainment and maybe
if
previews
nothing
of
else.
what's to come when we get back in the kitchen when Elsa is back after her. I guess you'll be gone. What? You'll be back in February,
I'll be
right?
back
Oh,
in
no,
May.
no, no. May. Oh my gosh, that's right.
Well, the end of April.
I was going to say 4 weeks and then travel. You're going for four
Hmm.
months. She'll be
3 months of
immersed.
studying, 1 month of
So
hopefully
she's
visiting.
going to come back and maybe not understand English because she will now be speaking
I will
French.
only understand about 3 sentences of every other
Right,
language,
right, exactly.
non-fluent in anything.
Well, that'll be fun. But
It will be. I'm excited.
well, thank you, Elsa, for
Thank you.
entertaining me again
You
and letting me do a
entertain
little.
me.
And I will talk to you and everybody who decided to come on board. I know we were going to do this a couple days ago, so sorry, I kind of got the timing off, but we did it. So
Hit the subscribe button. We love you all. I gotta just play up the YouTube. You influencers, sorry.
follow us.
It's getting
Right.
late. I'm about to turn on the filters, you know. I see this little button.
Is
It's like
there a button? Oh
uh,
no, I would be too afraid to try the filters. Are you going to try? Elsa's very daring.
I, I'm not trying. Wait, it's like accidentally doing it. Oh
Oh no,
no, what's going on?
that was
Oh wow.
that's a
Okay.
you know what that's like an old group. Take on Me. I forget the name.
Oh yeah, take on me.
There
Uh
you
huh.
go. Aha. Oh, that's it. Aha.
Uh
Good. I was like, aha, she got it. So I'm actually impressed
huh.
that you remember that song, or do you just know it because of the filter?
No, I do know and like the song. I don't
Okay.
remember it because I wasn't born yet, but
Okay. Okay. Rub it in, Elsa.
I was born in 2000,
She's a baby.
but it's also almost 2025, so you know what that means.
Not so much a baby. I know it happens. It happens to all of us. Oh my gosh, Keith is there. I want to know if Keith Pelzer. I have to say, Keith Pelzer is at the
Keith.
bakery all the time. Have they put you on a 10 step, or maybe we should say 13 step for Baker's Dozen? Because I remember he was there like all the
I
time.
he came a lot to the other place I was at too. I was like, surprise, it's Keith.
Wait, which
at 260?
life? Right, 260.
Yeah,
Yes, he did. I
taking photos of the place.
yeah, that was a photographer and what composer. He's I call him Renaissance man. He does it all. He does it all. But anyway, well, we hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Try not to stress if you're, cooking. Just remember, as my husband reminded me, at the end of the day, you just want the family together. So, whatever. There's always something. There's an option. Cheerios.
If you have any questions, reach out to us. We're there to help.
Yeah, this is like
I'm in a mood.
All right.
I feel that it's actually a little. I was gonna say it reminds me of the days when we used to get really silly at the end of a 16, 18-hour day. Well, for me, it was 16, 18 hours. For you, it was like 24.
If people didn't know better, they would think we were drinking. But I'm like, no, this is actually just exhaustion.
I was underage at the time.
You were underage, but it was also just sheer exhaustion that you kind of had to get your energy, to the next level.
I'm still hearing Christmas music, specifically like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra recording of Christmas Eve. That reminds me of Sweet Jasmine's at Thanksgiving, specifically.
Keith just said Elsa drinks. No, she doesn't. She drinks sparkling cider. What? Well,
I love chocolate milk. That's what I drink.
Chocolate milk is your new thing?
I actually just, yes. Hot chocolate milk.
I feel like we should break out into sweater weather.
Sweater weather. It's sweater weather.
All right, Elsa. Alrighty. I think you've had one too many chocolate milk drifts.
I did have hot chocolate. That's probably why.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what I have to do? I have to get off and I have to go to my dad's house and move the greens. He did his greens, so he's cool. He cooled them down. And I know, Elsa, Dad made some extra greens, so he'll have some for you. My dad's thing is like the greens and
greens
and potato salad.
Best potato salad
greens ever. And I mean, yeah. So not doing potato salad for Thanksgiving, but he is doing his greens. So I'll save you some. All right. Good night, all.
Bye.
See you, Elsa Pearl.
Bye.
Bye. Oh wait. Hold on. What did he say? Oh, he said I have a freezer full of sweet potato mix, muffin mix.
Nice.
That's good.
Where are you seeing these comments, by the way? Because I can't see them on my end.
They're like over your. They're
maybe
because I initiated. You might not be able to see it.
I might only be able to see if people who follow me write something.
Well,
because I saw
you.
That's
Keith. Do you follow Elsa Pearl?
He does. I know he does, and I follow him. So I don't know why I'm not seeing this stuff. Okay,
we're learning as we go along. Because
I am quite put out. I want to be able to see these comments.
Come on, young eyes.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm only seeing it like my face is clear, but all of the comments are kind of on top of.
Okay, it might be because you initiated it.
Because I initiated, but we'll figure out all this technology and let you in on it because this is all a learning tool. It's a learning curve. So all right. Yes. Well, have a good one.
You too.
See you, Keith Pelzer. Thank you all for joining, and hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Everybody. See ya. Bye.